Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I am the Moon Mama. How's everybody doing today? So, yes, today is Tuesday, and Tuesday is the day governed by Mars, and the moon is currently in Libra. It'll be in Libra for the rest of the day, and then it goes into a void this evening. And we're moving into a full moon, which happens on the 7th in Scorpio. So this is all like Scorpio energy is just it's just everything, right? It's everything. Okay, Mars. Mars is currently in Aquarius. And Mars in Aquarius is Mars in Aquarius is an interesting energy. Like what the word that comes up for me is wicked. And when I say wicked, I mean like a like irreverent, just not a team player, an energy that's totally all focused on itself and what it's doing and what it's committed and dedicated to. Everything else falls away. It's an energy that's so driven towards its goal and purpose that nothing else matters. And so because nothing else matters, it will shake up friendships, communities, organizations, because there's this drive towards the vision and what you're becoming that you are willing to let go of everything else. Sort of this pursuit of something that has value beyond where we are now, and you have to be extraordinarily dedicated to it. So that's Mars in Aquarius. And then the moon in Libra is all about partnership and marriage. And depending on where that falls in your house, today is a day to look at the vision of what your relationships mean. Like what are the purpose that they're serving? What are you guys doing in service that is in service to yourselves or in service to others? If you're in partnership, in business partnerships or in friendship partnerships or marriage partnerships, how does your relationship serve the well-being of others? One of the things that is fascinating for me when I think about partnering and stuff, I have always been aware that I didn't want to be in a relationship where we were just navel picking, where it was like, they're not doing this and I'm not doing that and he's doing this and it's pissing me off. Like I just always felt like that was mind numbing to me. It was like, how can you be in a relationship that has purpose? And in my life, I have been in a couple of environments where I have three, to be specific, where couples have created environments that serve a larger community. My first was with Reverend Michael Beckwith and Ricky Byers at Agape International Institute here in Los Angeles. And Reverend Michael was the minister and Ricky Byers did all the music, and they created this incredible environment, this church community that really became a national phenomenon. And then when I studied spiritual psychology in Santa Monica at the University of Santa Monica with Ron and Mary Holnick, this married couple really created this environment, this educational environment to help people learn how to perform therapy and psychoanalysis through holistic spiritual understanding that is not what we would learn in a traditional school to become a therapist. Like they taught us spiritual tools and meditation and just all sorts of practices that could help us heal our trauma, our family patterns, and they did it in ways that were non-traditional. And they were a married couple. And then finally, the other couple that I've seen do this is Kenya K. Stevens and Carl Stevens. They run the Progressive Love Academy, and I'm a part of that now. And they have taken their relationship and used it to create tools to help people learn how to either open their relationships or have better communication skills or practice rituals and spiritual practice to help harness the energy within the relationship. Like they teach tantra, so couples can learn how to use their sexual energy to create what it is that they really desire, so you can live the life that you desire. And so this is this Libra energy with this Mars in Aquarius. It's like, what is the purpose and real value of your relationship? How are you using that energy to create something that is going to better yourself, but also better the both of you, but also better the community around you? How can you become a couple, whether that be a romantic couple or a friendship or a business partnership that really is committed to the development, not only of yourselves, but to those around you? And that is a really powerful way to use this energy. While the moon is in Libra and moving into Scorpio, this is such a fascinating time because Venus is going into retrograde. And thank you for all of you who are joining the Venus retrograde course. Today I'm going to be adding the clearing ritual that is going to help those who are participating in this class do the ritual to clear patterns of betrayal, patterns of abandonment, patterns of codependence, patterns of jealousy. Like we might have jealousy and envy between ourselves, or we're experiencing that from someone else. Whether it's you or the other person, you can still do the work, the ritual, to clear those energies out of your psyche at this time. And so I'm going to be adding that ritual today. So for those of you who are already in the class, you will be able to access it there. And for those of you who want to participate, you can go to my link tree and purchase it and join here. But I'm going to be adding this ritual because it's very significant as we're moving into this full moon energy and we're in this Venus retrograde energy, and we're about to go into a whole retrograde season. Pluto went into retrograde, Jupiter's about to retrograde, Saturn's about to go into retrograde, Venus is going into retrograde, Mercury doesn't go into retrograde for about another 50 days or so. But we're about to go into a great retrograde experience. And so retrogrades are internal. Retrogrades mean you get to look at yourself and how you're showing up. And so you want to use this energy of this Venus retrograde to look at how you have created your relationships. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to spend time with a friend of mine who's a really great friend of mine in college and still is a great friend, but we haven't really communicated in like 20 years. After college, they got married and started a career, and they stayed in New York, and I was here in Los Angeles, and we hadn't seen each other in 20 years. And yesterday we got together just to catch up and have a drink, and it was so interesting to hear his story of me, and to hear him talk about me. And he's, we talked about how much fun we had. We were like there were like three of us. There were like me and two of my girlfriends, and him and two of his frat brothers. And we all hung out together for a whole summer, the six of us, and just had the best, incredible time. And it's so interesting because he said to me, he said, I remember thinking, you're the kind of woman that I wanted to marry. And it's so interesting because he didn't marry a woman like me at all. He married a woman more opposite of him. Like, I'm more fun-loving and free-spirited, and he's like that too. And he married someone who's the exact opposite. And I was saying to him, it's so interesting. It would have never worked because I'm not the marrying type, and I didn't know that. It took me to get married to realize that I'm really not the marrying type. And because it's not that I'm not the marrying type, I can't do the institution of marriage as it is in America. I cannot conform to how we institutionalize the experience of marriage, and it's just not for me. But it was really good to spend time with him, and just the sincerity, and our friendship was still as present as it had been. And it was so interesting to see who he is as a man, because he's loyal to himself and loyal to the commitments that he makes, and spiritual in his own unique way, and conscious in his own unique way, and also, just a hood brother, who's just doing his thing. And I just love the people that I have journeyed with in my life. I just love every single one of them. And I learned so much from each of them. And so, use this Venus retrograde energy to look back on your relationships, like take stock. I encourage you to join the Venus retrograde course because this will give you the opportunity to look at how you have related up till now, how you have come into relationships, your belief systems that have motivated the choices you've made. Do you believe that you need a partner? One of the things that I learned early on was that any relationship I had because I needed it was going to die. I have to be in relationships with people where I want them around, because if I need them around, then I'm not self-sufficient and I'm going to suffocate the relationship. So what motivates your relating? Where do you come from in your connections? Because everything is changing now. So it's time for us to reevaluate how we show up in relationships, who we're being, and look at our structures from the internal experience of our childhoods, and then make the shifts. And here's the thing, that's not a theoretical thing. It's not something you can do in your mind. You have to do it through deep contemplation, through time, through ritual, through healing energy, healing frequencies, because most of us have had, if we're Black or Black in America, from descendants of slaves or descendants of captives, we have trauma that we have to get beneath. And so it's not something that you really can do alone. So you don't have to do it with me, but please do it, and do it with someone who can really help you transmute the energy. So with that, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day with the Moon in Libra. And before we go into this void, and before we move into the Scorpio full moon, which truly is about your ability to alchemize these experiences, these energies, these old patterns. And if you want to learn how to do that, let me help you. Okay, peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's been sending donations. I really appreciate it. I just feel valued. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and that really matters to me. I need to know that so that I can keep doing it, because sometimes I don't want to share. Sometimes I feel a little bit ashamed, or a little bit like I'm telling too much, or so when you guys give me feedback, it helps. So thank you. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.